Mais bonjour tout le monde, bienvenue à notre séance ordinaire numéro 11 du 26 novembre 2004 au bureau d'arrondissement de Lennoxville. So welcome to our regular meeting number 11, November 26, 2024 at the Council at 150 Queen Street. So it's opening of the meeting, adoption of the agenda. The agenda is adopted as is, no modification. Donc l'ouverture de la séance et l'adoption de l'ordre du jour. L'ordre du jour est adopté tel quel, il n'y a eu pas de modification. Procès verbal, lecture et adoption du procès verbal numéro 10 du 22 octobre, ça c'est un dépôt, donc on adopte le procès verbal. So 3.1 is the reading and adoption of the minutes of the meeting number 10 of October 22nd, 2024. So it's adopted as is, no modifications. 3.2.1 is the Borough of Lennoxville Planning Advisory Committee, tabling of the minutes of September 24th, 2024. Donc, 3.2.1, c'est le comité consultatif d'urbanisme et le dépôt du procès verbal du 24 septembre 2024. On est rendu au point numéro 4, qui est la période de questions. We're up to point 4, public question period. So we have two public, no questions.
Oh, actually, I have something, just not as a reporter.
Okay, sure.
As a
You can
citizen.
state your name and where you live.
Yes, William Brooks, 124 St.
You don't
Francis.
have to give the address, but.
Oh, okay, okay.
St. Francis is good enough.
Okay.
Okay.
I just noticed, actually, I noticed a couple months ago, it gets dark, obviously in the winter it gets darker sooner. So sometimes I visit a friend down by the Tim Hortons. And I'm coming back in my car and I'm going 45 or 50, which I'm allowed to do. And there's people that want to cross the street on the crosswalks. Like in front of Provigo and the one in front of the church. You can't see them. If they have a dark jacket, you have no idea they're there. I was wondering if anybody has mentioned that. And if there's like, because there's things you can do, flashing lights and, you know, anyway, I was just wondering.
Well, the first thing is that it's owned by the MTMD, which was NTQ before.
Okay.
Transport.
Yes.
That's not our responsibility.
Okay.
To manage the crossings. So the request goes, if you put in a request, it goes to them.
Okay.
Okay, for them to do something. But I know that information I got from the councils in Sherbrooke is that they're revising all these crossworks all over Quebec.
Oh,
It's a big project.
Yeah.
So, and I know they have delegated to us certain crossings, and I don't think these guys are in there, but I did inquire about the one at LES.
Right.
Because I think it's school zone, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
subject to, so I did inquire about that, but I didn't get any feedback yet. But it's the same thing as me, you could inquire with the NTMD and send a request in and they'll give you an answer on that. So,
Okay, thanks.
yeah, but I know they're revising a lot of these crosswalks and we'll see how it goes because they are putting a budget, but you know, like any budget, you know, they do only so many per year. And
Right.
it makes me think of the crosswalk for Bishops there, right? And that probably took 4 or 5 years or something like that. to get that. So
yeah.
there's some stuff you have to start and keep on
Sure.
pushing on it. So.
Okay.
But there's also a responsibility for pedestrians to wear fluorescent, to wear like a safety vest with fluorescent markings or a headlamp or a flashing light.
Yeah.
I've noticed that too, going into Sherbrooke, on the bike path part. I see people all the time and there's no light or anything on their bike, or like if they're on a bike or
Yeah.
like if they're walking, they're wearing dark clothing, they're impossible to see. It's their responsibility too to make themselves visible.
Okay.
And there is an activity that Sherbrooke is putting out. It's called Bon Pied Bon Oeil. And what it does, you can see ads on YouTube, and I don't know if it's on television but you can see ads. They're actually ads that we're pushing, and it says when you come to a crosswalk, stop and check. So that's really
Right.
the message on
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
so because it is dangerous. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So after tomorrow, we'll go to 811.
Do you want to translate that?
Sure, you want? Is it yours?
No, I mean the question.
Oh, the question, yeah, sure, go ahead.
Donc, Bill vient de demander pourquoi il n'y a pas plus de feux sur les traverses piétonnaires ici sur la rue Queen à Lennoxville. Et c'est parce que ça appartient à la province du Québec, le NPD, et on n'a pas beaucoup de juridictions, mais j'ai répondu aussi qu'il y a une responsabilité de personnes individuelles de mettre comme une veste rafraîchissante ou les lumières ou quelque chose, juste pour être plus visible. Et je viens de voir que quelqu'un d'autre est venu dans la salle. Do you have a question? Because we were just finishing a question period. So if you have a question, it's your
I'm late then,
chance.
I'm sorry.
No, you're
Perfect
just in time.
I do?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Do I write them down or? Okay, this is just 10 minutes. Want me to tell you what it is?
You can ask.
No, you can go ahead, just state your name and maybe the street you're on.
My
Because
name is
we're recording this, so it
Okay,
becomes official.
okay. Carolyn Leonard. I'm a resident of Lennoxville. I have a concern, I have two concerns actually. The first one is something that I have been trying to work on for a couple of years, and it's the snow removal on the sidewalks. The area that I'm referring to that is of most concern for me is the north side of Academy Street, the sidewalk that goes from Mead down to Queen Street. It starts out okay until they need to plow, but they don't remove the snow on that sidewalk. And when I questioned, I was told, go to this person, go to that person. I spoke to the principal at the time at LES to see what she knew about it. She did some research, because the answer I got was that there was an entente with the Ville de Sherbrooke and ETSB, or more specifically, Lennoxville Elementary School, that they didn't want that sidewalk cleaned. And when I asked why, they said it was for safety reasons. They didn't want the children crossing. The first answer that I got was that in the school zones, the school corridors, they don't clean both sides of the sidewalk. I said, that's not true. On Church Street, they clean both sides. They said, but they don't have children crossing the street. I said, yes, they do. And there's school buses parked on Church Street, contrary to what I was given as a response. So I was trying to figure out what was the rationale for this, because I don't know if you've ever been down Academy Street at the beginning of the day or at the end of the day, but that street is lined with cars. They have a nice wide sidewalk for the students, which is great, because the buses are no longer on Academy. They're picked up and dropped off on Speed Street, and I think some of the high school exchanges are done on Mead. So I was trying to understand so what I ended up getting as an answer was a map, an interactive map of the Ville de Sherbrooke and the streets in Lennoxville where the sidewalks are not clean. So indeed, that section of the Academy sidewalk is not cleaned. And then there was another spot that they also, Parkdale on the west side is not cleaned either. And I said, but why would we have a double standard on Church Street and clean both sides? But it's because when you look at the policy for cleaning the sidewalks with the Ville de Sherbrooke, it is the priority is school corridors and residential areas, and that answers both criteria. So it's okay to do it on Church Street, but not okay to do it on Academy Street. I said, I'm not following where the issue of safety is, except that it is true that on Church Street there is a crosswalk, designated crosswalk, on Church Street where Parkdale, no, not Parkdale, Hunting Street, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Hunting Street.
Hunting.
Yeah.
There is a crosswalk there, and then there's one from Hunting over towards LES across Speed, but there's nothing designated on the two corners of Academy and Mead, except from Mead going up Academy. So I said, that's a pretty easy fix. What about the people living there, not just the students, but what about the people that are living all that length of Academy Street that have to navigate a snowbank to get, when they're cleaning, to get out of their driveway. I helped someone who lives at the bottom of Academy one day. She said, I'm not sure how I'm gonna get, she had a bag of groceries. She wasn't sure how she was gonna get into the driveway because a snowplow had been by and she was walking up. And I said, you're gonna get hit. And she said, well, there's no sidewalk over here. I said, well, there is, but it's not cleaned.
May I?
Certainly.
Please. Okay, so this question has been asked a couple of years ago. It's the exact same thing. And so we did inquire about this, and the same answer we got is that for security reason, because they did have it plowed at one point, and they found that for security reason, they had to not plow it. So that's, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but that's the answer we got. So what we could do at this point is maybe take out the answer we got in writing, okay, maybe send it to you if that would help you out.
I sent Jennifer all that I had because I didn't know who to turn to. I think it was about a year ago or within the last year when I spoke about it. I said, here winter's coming. We're going to be facing the same issue again.
Yep.
And sometimes people who live on that street would like to not get mixed in with the students and the kids and the parents that are coming to pick up their kids. Would like to walk on their street where they pay taxes up their sidewalk. Why have a sidewalk
Well,
there? Is it only for the summer?
Yeah, if we take the citizens' side of view of it, is that the fact that it's done everywhere in Sherbrooke, really. Now streets are plowed, sidewalks are only plowed on one side. That's pretty well everywhere in Sherbrooke. Some exceptions, not without exception, but some exceptions. So that's all over Sherbrooke. So that argument becomes a Sherbrooke argument or a city argument, I might say. But what I'm listening to, the argument you brought up, that the fact that it's busy and you don't want to mix with the other side of the street, that might be a plausible argument to bring in. Something might be I haven't heard yet. So maybe we could try that, but it's still going to be a request.
But can you answer to me why on Church Street both sides are done and there isn't a sidewalk the whole way of
Because it
Church?
hasn't been declared as a dangerous situation. That's the difference between both of them. That's, like I said, that's the information I got.
Yeah, because I went on the website before coming here and the criteria for cleaning sidewalks is pretty clear. You know, T1 is school corridor, T2 is residential services and paths like Lac des Nations. So Lac des Nations, I agree, it's great that we plow that.
Is it when you spoke to the school director, did she mention that she wanted both sides plowed?
She said she wasn't aware why it wasn't being done, so she did some digging.
Okay.
She went back in history, spoke to her predecessors of principals, administrators, people who would have been around for the last 10, 15 years, and they knew nothing of any such entente. We don't have any record of that anywhere.
Because I think if you put a request in, and maybe Mr. Blick can answer, but I think if you put a request in for that purpose, you probably get the same answer we got. But if the school puts a request in, maybe it'll change the point of view there.
I have no idea, but it's
So
a new
that's-
principal, so she doesn't have the history of it either now.
Because
That's
it's
the
not so
problem, is
long
that it
ago.
gets lost in translation as we move forward.
Well, I think it's historical. Somewhere's in there, somebody wanted that
Yeah.
sidewalk not plowed because they identified the risks. So that's where that's, like I said, that's the information I got. So if we want to re-question it, we can. I presume we're gonna get the same answer unless we change the question.
And I do know that there was a citizen living on Academy who no longer lives there, who did send, without me even being aware of it, we were both doing the same,
Okay, the same
measure at the
request.
same time. And we both got the same answer, a copy of the map. It's that, and she said, but people are parking and blocking, I can't even shovel. Like she said, it's like it becomes quite a problem because the person's driveway was here and the walkway was there, so she's like, they're parking, they're blocking, I can't even shovel. Anyway, it's just really questionable as to why would we have, if safety was the reason, then you'd think that the entire school board or somebody
Yes.
who, they all haven't changed. It's not everybody's lawn was there, so somebody must have a file somewhere.
Well, we can ask the administration's opinion on that.
Yeah.
Je sais pas si André, tu veux répondre ou bien si tu veux faire une demande pour avoir une réponse.
We'll ask,
So we'll put a request in, we got your information down, so
And
yeah, we'll put a request in and see what we get as an answer there, so.
exactly, it's for Academy Street, exactly?
Yeah.
Academy Street,
Yeah, the LES part, the lower.
Just-
the other side
it's
of,
the only place that
LES.
there's a sidewalk on the north side of Academy.
Yeah.
If you're going up Academy, it's from Mead Street down to Queen.
Mhm.
Because when you go past that stop sign, the only place there is only a sidewalk on the south side going to the top of Academy, not even to the top, but up to.
But more accurately, what I want to make sure is that, like I said, if we ask the same question, we'll get the same answer.
Yeah.
So, ça fait que c'est pour ça, si l'école était d'accord, if the school was involved, you know, if, you know, that's the only thing we can try is try to formulate another question.
And I went as far as saying, let's see a copy of that sign on top,
No.
of the signed agreement. And I said, where's
It's
the
not a
copy,
signed
where is that?
agreement. I don't think it's a signed agreement, it's just a,
So,
a request that's been put in and replied to.
are you involved directly in the LES?
No.
No?
not
Okay.
anymore. I have 2 grandchildren that go there.
No problem,
But-
no problem.
No, I'm not applying
It's
retired.
just a question.
Well, that's a good point, that you could use the parents' community, maybe they could put in a request, or
With the new director,
the school itself,
Okay,
that would change the question.
it's worth a shot, it's worth a try. Because it's discouraging, because you see, like, the beginning of the winter, when there's no snowplows, big snow, they're going down with the little tractor, it's cleaned, it's sanded, I'm like, oh, wow, okay, they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
The minute we have a snowstorm, it's like, that's done.
So is the answer okay for you? So like I say, if we change the question, that's,
Well, who's gonna do what, I guess, is my
Well,
question.
if you get the school to ask for it, it's gonna be a different prospect. So, or the parent committee or whatever, you know. Because the opposite could be right, you know, suppose you ask this, and the city still says we do it, and then the school comes back, no, this is dangerous. No, so if the school gets involved and asks for it, that'll be changing the point of view of the for security.
Okay, well, it's hard to know who makes the.
Because you're not the first one to come for that question, so.
Okay. I'll close the parentheses on that question. My second question was just more, I was curious when I saw the lantern today, we have a new glass drop-off depot. I thought that was already in our recycling, and I was like, what is that about?
I didn't understand.
The glass depot,
Oh,
it's over across from Clarksville. So we're gonna haul our bottles over there and not put them in our recycling bin anymore?
you can still put them in the recycling bin.
Okay, it's
You
just,
know, it's not wasted in the recycling bin
Okay.
because they do use it there too. So you convert it into sand at the.
but what's the difference
Veterans.
between, oh, okay, so it's because it's just glass, it's
Yeah,
not
it's
there.
there's not, yeah, exactly. There's a
Okay.
separation lane and it doesn't go to Veterans, it goes to a recycling plant. So
Glass
that's the
specifically for
difference.
glass.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just curious if, so you do read the lantern.
But you had a third question too, that we talked about this summer. Parking on
Oh,
street.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, gosh, I don't mean to be coming for the first time then be.
No, but it's been a few
Yeah,
months
but
that
like
you
when
talked
you're,
about coming,
yeah, okay,
so-
parking on Speed Street by the pool, like, somebody is gonna get killed there. Somebody is gonna get killed. I know we had a particularly warm summer, I'm so pleased that they have a place to go. All of that's wonderful, we have a great park there. But the parking, when they're lining up Speed Street and people are parking on both sides and you're trying to go up and down, like, I avoid Speed Street in the summer, even walking, I'm looking when someone's gonna get killed. There's not enough parking. They redid the pool, and that whole park, and there's about 6 places to park.
Real busy.
And they can't go and use Uplands because that's their parking. I know they park on Mead, and I know someone who lives there. And I know that sometimes they can't even pull into their own driveway because people are, it's great to see the gazebo being used. I'm not against any of that, it's not a complaint about that. It's the parking is an issue on Speed Street, and it's very dangerous. So I don't know what's gonna happen with that.
Usually, and I'm not saying we're going to do this for speed, but usually there's a study that's going to be made. And je sais pas si c'est applicable dans ce cas-là, André, we need normally 5 people to sign for such a request. C'est-tu genre de demande qui...
On the street?
Pour le stationnement, pour changer la signalisation. Because that's what we end up doing is if we put signs, no parking on one side.
Request for parking.
Or something like that, that's what's going to be.
I guess they have to have an alternative, though, because where are they gonna park? Because I mean, that is a busy park and pool in the summer. And we have tennis, pickleball going on and all kinds of activities.
So if you go on the website, there's a place on there where you can put a request in for signage or for any changes in the.
I don't know that signage is gonna change anything, Claude.
Well, if they don't park.
Where are they gonna go?
When you mentioned they park on both sides of the street, so they would.
It does say no parking.
They would cancel one side.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
But that's the type of thing that's gotta be studied by our services. We are.
Do you have time after the meeting?
Yeah.
We will meet you. We will meet you to ask.
Okay, and on the same topic of that park, the gazebo, which is fantastic, we're lucky to have it and people are using it. And I guess I have too much time on my hands maybe, but that roof needs to be done. It was put there in honor of Mr. Cousteau.
Yes.
And they use it every year for different things for Friendship Day, and people are in there dancing, and they have there's all kinds of clubs that use it. But I don't know if you've walked by it, but it's in really bad shape. And it just would be too bad to lose it, because we're lucky to have it.
I walked at night, so I never noticed that.
Well, when you're walking by and you look up and you see, oh my gosh, all the shingles are all curled up, and not all of them, but enough that I think it's probably not been touched since it was.
Well, that's been noted for sure.
Okay.
As for, I don't know if you noticed too, Mr. Cousteau's sign there.
Well, and there was,
we put in a
that time
request.
faded, and.
Yeah, we
and
put in a
there was
request to replace that.
Yes, that would be good.
It's not been budgeted yet.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we'll proceed with our agenda. On va continuer avec notre agenda. Donc, 8.1, dépôt de suivi des interventions du Conseil d'arrondissement. Donc, ça, c'est le suivi des interventions. Donc, rien de spécial. Là, c'est nos visiteurs qui viennent. On fait un dépôt de leurs questions. So 8.1 is the tabling of the follow-up of interventions at the Borough Council meeting of 22nd, 2024. So these are our citizens like we have today that came and ask questions, and then so it's a report on that. So 8.2 is the tabling of the report of Harvest Festival, Giant Pumpkin Festival. I think that's yours, eh?
Yeah, it's mine. It's just the tabling of the 33rd edition of the Harvest Festival,
Oh, so
of the Giant Pumpkin Festival. C'est juste le dépôt de bilan du Festival de la moisson et de la citrouille géante dans l'arrondissement de Lennoxville année 2024, et c'était le 33e édition, et c'était un succès cette année encore. Beaucoup de monde.
Super bien, oui. 8.2, assistance financière non récurrente pour l'Université Bishops. Donc, il s'agit d'un montant de 3 000 pièces qui a été demandé, qui est non récurrent pour l'Université Bishops. So it's a $3,000 contribution to Bishops University for help on cultural and on the campus. So the culture, because some of the events that they create are for open to the public. So it's our contribution. They ask for contribution, and this is our answer to that. Donc, le 3 000 pièces, c'est pour contribuer aux événements culturels qui se déroulent sur le campus, mais qui sont ouverts au public. Donc, c'est une demande qu'on a reçue, donc on répondu favorablement à 3 000 $. Donc, 822, assistance financière non récurrente pour le Centre culturel du patrimoine Upland. So 822, so it's a tabling, non-recurrent financial assistance for Uplands Cultural and Heritage Center. That's right.
Oui, c'est 25 000 $ pour la rénovation des salles de bain à Uplands. Donc, on a vu au mois d'août ici. Après ça, c'est passé au CM parce que c'était un transfert administratif. Et donc, c'est juste pour finir le processus. It's just a technicality for $25,000 to renovate the bathrooms at Uplands. This summer, we saw it in August. It was a procedure to transfer the money from one department to the other, and it's just to close that file now. André, si tu veux ajouter quelque chose, parce que c'est correct.
Yeah, it's a technical administration, but it's for Jennifer. You gave the information,
Okay.
the right information. Thank you.
Merci. Donc, 831, signature de la convention entre la commission scolaire Eastern Township de l'arrondissement de Lennoxville. Donc, c'est pour l'aménagement d'un anneau de glace sur le terrain de l'école de Lennoxville Elementary School. So, this is a signature with the Eastern Township School Board for at LES. It's for the ice rink. So, in other words, these are Eastern Township grounds, so we have to sign an agreement to be able to offer this to the public. So this is open for the public, except for during the day. When the school's open, it's not open to the public, but otherwise it is. And it's so sad that lately we had very little ice time. The season wasn't very good, so that's a hard part about it. Parce qu'on a investi beaucoup là-dedans, puis quand on n'a pas de bonne saison, on n'y peut rien avec la température, donc, mais on entame une signature encore cette année avec LES, avec Eastern Township School Board. Donc, 841, fonds dédié, adoption du budget participatif pour l'arrondissement de Lennoxville. So, 841 is a dedicated fund, and that's the adoption of the 2025 participatory budget for the borough of Lennoxville. If you remember, that's what
Jennifer?
Well, I thought 8.3.1 was mine, but I don't.
Yeah.
But you can continue.
I didn't understand what you said, sorry.
I thought 8.3.1 was mine.
Oh, okay,
She's
I can do
on
8.4.
the subcommittee.
moi, c'est ça, okay. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. Non,
Okay.
c'est juste pour l'année 2025, il y aura 6 000 $ pour notre budget participatif et le maximum serait comme 3 000 par projet. On espère d'avoir plus de projets cette année. Les détails seront sur le site web de la ville ou à l'arrondissement ici en bas aussi.
The budget is up from, how much was it last year?
5,000.
5,000 to 6,000 for the participatory budget there. We'd be up to 911. That's
Okay, yeah.
l'aide financière.
Financial aid to the Lennoxville Art Group of $652 and $13,375 for Lennoxville Ascot Historical Museum Society. C'est une aide financière pour le groupe d'art de Lennoxville de $652 et pour la Société d'histoire de Lennoxville Ascot de $13,375. Pour l'année 2025, mais comme c'est tout dépendamment si le budget de Sherbrooke passe au mois de décembre.
So we're 912, so again there, that's the financial assistance 2025 for eligible community organization, the Blue Olympic. So it's similar to the one the Scarlett just read, except we have the list of all the organizations on there. So the community aid is one of them, the Women's Center, Club de tir Lennoxville, puis associative aussi est là, c'est ça. Donc, Jardin Oxford qui est un autre commentaire. So this financial aid goes to the gardens in Oxford, the financial association life in Lennoxville, and community aid and women's center and food that's in Lennoxville. So we're up to point number 13, which is messages from the members of council. Donc, message des membres du conseil, point numéro 13. Scarlett.
Okay, well, thank you for reading the lantern. I'm glad that somebody, the information's getting out there. It's being, this is being more challenging because Canada Post is on strike, so they can't deliver it. So we're leaving it at businesses in Lennoxville, and we'll do as much door-to-door as we can. If anybody would like to deliver some, contact either Claude or me, and we can give you a section to do. I have to apologize because in the French section of the printed lantern, there was the notice for the Outstanding Achievement Awards that appeared in English instead of French, but in the PDF that is on the Facebook is okay. I would like to thank the employees of the city of Sherbrooke because the night of October 24th, there was a water main break in Viewpoint. And they started working at about 5 o'clock that night. They had to turn the water off for the whole section of Viewpoint, and they were there until 6:30 the following morning. They worked throughout the night so that they could turn the water back on the following day. We had to boil water for 48 hours, but I was so impressed with their work. And then the following week, they came and asphalted, and they did the pipe. Of course, Viewpoint was started to be built in the 1970s, so the infrastructure is getting old, and they told me that this time of year, they have about 2 water main breaks a day. And I've seen others around town, and in our Info Travaux too, every day there's water breaks. So it was just, I was just so impressed that they worked all night. This Saturday in Lennoxville, it's Santa's visit, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever before. There will be a horse and buggy running between the United Church and Uplands. Literacy in Action will be having activities at Uplands. There will be vendors at the United Church. Square Queen will be busy, Santa will be there, and the Women's Center will be there. CJMQ Radio will be there. There's other groups there too. And I won't go into all the details, but the library is going to be having a book sale at Amadee Bowleway. The Lennoxville Art Group will be there. So it should be a very good day. We'll hope for good weather. It's been a busy month at Grace Village because they had the apple pie making event, the wine and art event, and then last Saturday they had their Christmas market, which was attended to by a lot of people. Yesterday marked the beginning of the 16 days of action against gender-based violence. On December 10th at the United Church at 6 o'clock, the Women's Center is organizing the reading of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. In 2023, 187 women and girls were violently killed in Canada, which is 187 too many. There's a lot of other things going on too, but the information is all in the lantern for the other groups like St. Francis Valley Naturalist Club. And so I hope that if anybody needs one, contact Claude or me and we'll get one to you. So, okay. Donc, Paul, la lanterne. Il faut que je donne mes excuses. Il y a une erreur qui s'est glissée dans la dernière lanterne, dans la section en français. L'avis pour les nominations pour le reconnaissance d'exceptionnel, l'annonce était en anglais au lieu de français. Donc, toutes mes excuses pour ça. Si on a un problème cette fois-ci avec Post Canada qui est en grève, donc ils ne sont pas capables de livrer. Donc, on a laissé les lanternes à différents commerces à Lennoxville et on va faire de porte à porte aussi. S'il y a quelqu'un qui a besoin d'eux et qui n'a pas reçu les contacts comme soit Claude ou moi, et on va faire certain que tu reçois. Ce samedi à Lennoxville, c'est la visite de Père Noël. Il y aura plusieurs activités. Il y aura une calèche qui va aller entre l'Église unie et Uplands. Et Literacy in Action va avoir les activités, va organiser les activités à Uplands. Il y aura une vente de livres de la bibliothèque à l'année des Baudouins avec le groupe d'art de Lennoxville va être là aussi. Au Square Queen, le vrai Père Noël va être là avec le Centre des Femmes, le Radio CGMQ et d'autres vendeurs aussi. Merci à tout le monde à Village Grace parce que c'était un mois occupé avec les tartes de pommes. Il y avait comme 50 bénévoles qui ont participé pour faire les 1000 tartes. Il y avait le vin et art aussi, et il y avait le marché de Noël cette fin de semaine. Et hier, on a commencé avec les slideshows pour l'action contre la violence contre les femmes. Le 10 décembre, à l'Église unie, à 6 heures, il y aura le Centre des femmes a organisé la lecture de la Déclaration des droits de la personne. En 2023, il y avait 187 femmes et filles qui ont décédé dans les actions violentes contre eux autres. Donc, il y a beaucoup d'autres choses ici à Lennoxville à faire. Donc, je pense que c'est tout pour moi. Ce soir, je vais te laisser, Claude.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you. I'll come back on your comment. Tu dis le vrai Père Noël, only in Lennoxville. OK? OK, so, vous savez que le football est important à Lennoxville, hein? Donc, il a pris encore beaucoup plus d'importance il y a quelques semaines. Donc, je veux féliciter l'équipe du football des Cougars du Collège Champlain de Lennoxville pour la victoire du bol d'or collégial de la division 1. Ils ont gagné 52-42 contre l'équipe de Notre-Dame, du campus Notre-Dame de Sainte-Foy. Puis aussi, félicitations évidemment aux Gators de l'Université Bishops en demi-finale du football universitaire canadien contre les Golden Hawks de l'Université de Philadelphie. Puis, ils ont perdu, mais 48-24. Mais par contre, je regardais l'équipe qui était physiquement, je suis allé au match, puis physiquement, tu voyais que l'équipe était beaucoup plus grosse. Donc, on s'attendait quand même à un bon défi. Puis c'était un bon défi, mais ils ont quand même eu une excellente performance. So, everybody knows that the importance of football in Lennoxville, so it can become really important a couple of weeks ago when we had our games here. So congratulations to Champlain College Cougar football team for their victory in Division 1 for the Bol d'Or. And to Bishop's University for making the Canadian University football semifinal against the Wilfrid Laurier University. And they're winning it. They lost 48-24, but they delivered kind of an outstanding performance, I think, considering the different class teams there. I think they did their share. So those were my messages. So c'était mon message. Donc, on est rendu au point numéro 14. Which is qui est la levée de l'Assemblée. So number 14, which is the adjournment. Merci beaucoup de votre présence. Thank you for coming. Merci.